About it with you.
It was left to me from a very dear friend who I'd known for many years, and he passed quite recently. I'd not seen him for nearly 2 years though, and I just got a letter out of the blue saying that I'd been left a load of his things.
How marvellous.
He was a great man. He collected everything, artwork, jewellery. He loved jewellery. When I was very little, I used to go into his shop. He had a shop at the time, and I used to go among different objects and knock things over, and there would be the odd time I think I'd probably be screamed out of the shop and then welcomed back.
I doubt it. And what a lovely thing to leave in memory of him. But what did you think the blue stone was?
I thought it was a sapphire.
And you're right.
Really?
Yes. But it's a much more complicated story than that. What else have you noticed about it?
I know it's got a carving.
Yes.
I think it's of Julius Caesar.
Well, I think it is too, and that's exciting enough, certainly, and points towards something from Italy, perhaps Rome. We should just say that sapphires are the second hardest material known to man. So to carve it in what we call intaglio, which means to cut in, is a tour de force seldom seen. And what else have you noticed about the ring?
I know it has a little signature on the bottom that looks like a niggle.
A niggle? Well, it is a niggle. No, but actually it's more than a niggle because it's back-to-back C's. And the back-to-back C's are the monogram of possibly the most famous jeweller working in the 19th century in Europe. It's the monogram of the Castellani atelier in Rome. They were the Piazza Fontani di Trevi in Rome, next to the Trevi fountain. Everybody went there
Have
you been there?
Go, please, go on.
It operated between 1860 and even as late as 1930, but everybody went there. It was a sort of honeypot for the elite of Europe, without a shadow of doubt. You have a neoclassical head of Julius Caesar, carved by the Castellani atelier in a tiny signet ring. So tell me what it means to you.
I wouldn't replace it if you told me it was worth £1,000.
And you couldn't replace it because it's a token of your friendship.
It was.
And I have a funny feeling that he just might have known some part of all of this, and perhaps he wanted you to discover it.
His words were, never let it go.
Well, that's pretty good, isn't it? And these things are very touching, but unfortunately you have to make a choice about something else, because it's not worth £1,000, it's worth £5,000.
Oh my God. Wow. That's amazing.
I'm very affected by it, and I think you are too, aren't you?
I am. I'm stunned, honestly. Wow.
Diamonds sparkling in the sunshine here. This is almost Hollywood sunshine, isn't it?
It is indeed, and that's exactly where this was bought.
Wonderful. Tell me every part of how you got it.
It was bought in Hollywood Boulevard, and the lady who had the antique and jewellery store only opened on Saturdays. We were introduced to her. I knew her then till she passed away for about 24 years. And in fact, we used to go and stay with them in Miami. So it was nice to have a jeweller as a friend.
Isn't it?
And
Yes.
I had an inheritance.
Yes.
So I thought I would put it into something that was tangible and also pretty, and also probably a better investment than the bank.
Your best friend, a girl's best friend.
Exactly,
All these cliches
yes.
are tumbling out onto
and that
the
was
table.
it, but it's $23,000.
£13,500. Well, yes.
But in fact, it had belonged to Rita Hayworth.
Oh, how marvellous. So that's very good to know, isn't it?
It was given to her by her husband, the Ali Khan, who was the son of the Aga Khan.
So Rita Hayworth was married in the 40s, but tell us a bit more about this wonderful star.
Well, she was an amazing star, and she was a real Hollywood A-lister. She acted with absolutely everybody in Hollywood at the time, Glenn Ford, Frank Sinatra, Orson Welles. She was in Only Angels Have Wings.
Much adored and
Very
much loved.
glamorous lady.
And perhaps the only girl in the world who didn't need the diamonds, but she had them anyway.
Absolutely. But this is 40s American fabulous Hollywood glitz. And I've looked at many pictures of Hollywood and so on, but I can't find her wearing it.
Well, I will send you home to actually look for those photographs,
Yes,
and
I
maybe
know.
even her will would be interesting too,
Yes,
wouldn't it?
it would.
And you've got to go
Yes,
in for a
it
bit
would.
of open cast archaeology here,
Okay.
because the provenance of these pieces is absolutely crucial.
Yes, I know.
In every sense of the
Yes.
word, because they are heirlooms, they're talismans, and when you
Yes.
can associate them with somebody famous and somebody utterly glamorous like
Exactly.
this in lifestyle and in looks,
Yeah.
then this adds huge hugely to your, well, which was an investment in some regard, but it's not only an investment because you love it, don't you?
Yes.
And we know the diamonds are really very nice quality and they add up like mad. And I haven't made any calculations of
I
that
know
sort.
roughly.
Do you? Come on then. How many carats?
Roughly. They haven't
Roughly.
been pulled
There's
and
nothing
weighed.
rough about this.
No.
What?
Roughly 54 carats.
54 carats. Well, I'm not going to base my valuation on any of that sort of
No,
thing because
no.
I think that this is to the idea of breaking it down for these systems. But I mean, maybe if you go home and do your Rita Hayworth thing, find a photograph of her wearing it under the most spectacular circumstances with somebody famous, well then, £80,000.
That's good. That was really quite a buy.
But if we can't find that, and we never do, then it's not so much fun. It might be only a mere £45,000.
It's still good.
It's still
It's
brilliant.
still lovely. I'm delighted.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Well, two enormous diamonds, but also a very lustrous pearl in the middle. Tell me about this bracelet.
Well, my wife's grandfather and great-grandfather, they had a jewellery business in Dundee, and we think that's where it came from. It was handed down to my wife.
How marvellous.
Now, she died 2 months ago.
Yes.
And we have a daughter in New Zealand, and I'd be very interested in passing this on to Elizabeth. But I would like you to tell us a bit more about it.
Did your late wife enjoy wearing that?
No, she wore it once only when we went out to dinner. She felt it was a bit over the top.
That's a great compliment to her because she's obviously a very sweet, modest lady. But at the same time, it was a shame that other people didn't get to enjoy it because it is a miraculous thing to look at. It's from the period of 1900. 1900 was a time when pearls were never more valuable. It's difficult to emphasize what an incredibly valuable commodity real pearls were then. It predated the invention of the cultured pearl, and if you wanted proper pearls, there were only real pearls to have, and the excitement surrounding them was phenomenal. Cartier bought their freehold premises in Fifth Avenue from its original owner for a single strand of pearls. So it gives you some measure of what intense interest there was in pearls in 1900, and this is exactly the period from which this comes, but it's coming from a very strange direction. This is not an oyster pearl, it's not a salt sea pearl. It comes from a freshwater mussel, and I believe it's a Scottish pearl, a Scottish freshwater pearl.
A tea pearl.
A tay pearl, which of course is a fantastic thing to find in this brilliant sunshine, and I can't believe it has ever looked better than it does now. The thing about pearls is you try to look down onto the surface and it sort of bewilders the eye. This orient, this shine, appears somewhere on the surface but somewhere deep inside it, and it's been the great fascination of pearls forever. What price a marvellous Scottish...
Yeah, but so interested in all that you've been saying, I forgot all about what it's worth.
Well, I almost have, actually. I'm dazzled by it. I think it's a most marvellous object, and I don't know what price can one put on a superb example of pearl jewellery from 1900, absolutely at its finest hour. But in my view, this might fetch between £8,000 and £10,000.
Oh, very good. Well, I must pass that on to Elizabeth. The information.
I wonder if Elizabeth will wear it.
And
Will she wear it?
well,
Your
no,
brother?
I'm sure she will.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, you brought me the most marvellous slinky-malinky diamond and platinum bracelet. Now, how does it come to you?
I inherited it from my mother-in-law. It was bought for her by her husband, who may have got it in an auction. He travelled a lot around the world, so he may have purchased it anywhere on his travels.
And were you startled when you saw it?
Yeah, I was startled that it was going to come to me.
Well, I have no idea about the age of everybody in the family, but I think there's another ghost here, and I think this is the ghost of a marvellous lady living in the Art Deco style with a silk dress, perhaps with a geometric pattern to it, shot with green and blue silk, and she gets out of a motor car in the Place Vendôme that's lined with maple wood with a chauffeur, and chooses, or at least hints that that's what she wants, and then her husband comes along and says that he's going to buy it for her, and he buys it as a caprice. It's not an investment, it's simply part of the most astonishing arrangements. Really the last gasp of luxury at that level, really. We never saw it again after the Second World War, and this was bought for sheer pleasure to wear at some fantastic reception in Paris in 1927, and we don't know this ghost. This may be the only evidence we can ever hope to claw her back. It's platinum, and it's set with all manner of different cuts of diamonds, mainly brilliants, and square-cut diamonds here. And I think we can safely give this the label, which is often misused, of being Art Deco.
Yes.
And that implies that it's made between 1927 and the early 1930s. And the reason we can see this, and you almost have to trust me for this, is there are little references not only to geometry but also to Chinese works of art, and they lie here with these circular discs. And this is a progression of design that we see in the greatest jewellery houses of the world, and I think this is of sufficient quality to attribute it to such a jewellery house. It's combined with very rich intrinsic value. We have 6 considerably large, brilliant diamonds in here, and this is rather like a sort of collision of art and intrinsic value, and there's a sort of almost atomic explosion as they crash together, because this is what everybody wants. It's of a scale that everybody wants, and it's enviable, and with all of that comes huge excitement. I don't know about you, but I'm nearly fainting.
Yeah.
And yes, you are. And I had a chance to look at it earlier, and I combed it all over for a signature from over a number of Parisian jewellers. So I might have liked it if it said Cartier, Van Cleef & Arpels, or particularly Boucheron, who I sense actually made this jewel. I did look very hard for these engraved signatures. I didn't find them. What I did find was that it had little guarantee marks for platinum on the side, little wolf head, and then a maker's mark, not a retailer's mark, which in a lozenge mark, which actually rather rubbed, and unfortunately I can't make any sense of that. So we've slightly lost height in not being able to pin its provenance down to a specific Art Deco Parisian jeweller, but we can see it's of the finest possible quality, and I'm sure that if you wanted to buy it in any distinguished jewellery shop anywhere in the world, you would have to pay £150,000.
Oh my God! That's amazing. Thank you.
Oh, darling, we're both going to cry. No, I think...
That's unbelievable. Could buy a Bentley now.
Could?
Thank you.
No, well, thank you. Set me off now, you silly old thing. Oh.